I just thought I'd share a quick message with you. As you know by now, of course, we're in lockdown to the end of August. And that means it's going to be important for us to stay connected. And one way is through our Sunday services. And I want to encourage you to tune in at the time you usually come to church, to keep that regular pattern going in this unusual time. So if you come to 9 a.m. service, that'd be a good time to watch the service and then join us with our Zoom. If you come to 11 a.m. service, to join us then and to come afterwards for the Zoom too. Now, for this particular Sunday, there's a lot which is on. We will hear from our Archbishop. We will have a section on domestic violence, but we also want to be involved in taking the Lord's Supper. So in preparation for the service, you just need to have a small piece of bread and also a drink. And to have those two elements to remind us of the death and resurrection of Jesus, I'll lead us through what to do after that. I also want to ask you to be praying in particular for our leaders. They are in a time which other leaders haven't been through. They're having to make decisions in a rapidly changing environment, trying to be aware of all the various factors as they make decisions. Please pray for them, particularly for our Premier. And pray also for the vaccines which we need and for an end to this particular pandemic. Pray for those who are on the front line, for those who, out of great concern for others, are serving and are putting themselves at risk. Pray that God will protect them and give thanks for the way in which they're involved in this too. And pray also for those who are anxious, those who are isolated and those who are lonely, that God would provide for them and also would use people to stay in contact with them. Well, as I was saying before, I'd love for you to keep reaching out to each other, and also please contact me if there is ways in which I can help you, which I'd love to do. In the book of Acts, we had this one time where Paul is involved in his missionary journeys. At this stage, he'd been traveling a fair distance and he had met with different people, but all of a sudden he just found that he wasn't able to go places. He actually talks about the fact that the Spirit was stopping them from going to areas which they thought would be really good for them and would be a great benefit for the gospel. But God didn't want them to go there. And in fact, they discovered that God wanted them to go to somewhere completely different. We're in a situation where we can't always understand what exactly is occurring, but we know that God's still in charge. We know that God is at work in our world. What He's doing and why we don't understand, but we know that God will use this for His purposes. So we continue to wait on Him. We continue to pray to Him. And we continue to look for how God will use this to develop us as His people and to bring back glory for His name. So continue to have hope in Him, pray to Him, and look forward to seeing how God uses to bring about a transformation even of His people at Penshurst. And I look forward to seeing you on Sunday.